So you've put your phone away, done your pre-studying routine, and got your books ready. Yet, when you sit down, you just lose focus and start daydreaming. Hey everyone! In this video, I'll be explaining 7 unique study tips that will help you stay focused when studying and stop you from daydreaming so much. So be sure to watch till the end of the video to know what those are. Tip 1. Write it down and don't give in. Once you realize that you're daydreaming, stop and write that thought down. I find that this really helps me because if I don't write down what I'm thinking and put a full stop to it, I'll just keep thinking about more and more scenarios or ideas until sometimes hours pass by. Also, if you're halfway studying and you want to do something else like go on TikTok, online shopping, or check your messages, write those things down and do them at the end of the day after you finish studying. It's so important not to entertain those thoughts, because once you do, it's really hard to regain focus and go back to studying. If you can, I actually recommend writing these things down in a little book, so that over time you can track what is distracting you when you're studying and work to minimize it. Tip 2. How to train yourself to focus for a longer period of time. Next, let's discuss how to train yourself to focus for a longer period of time. I'll be introducing 2 time management techniques. You'll do the first method when you first start to build your attention span, then you'll move on to the second method when you are able to focus for a longer period of time. If you really have trouble focusing when you're studying, then this is what you should do first. Grab your books, and right before your study session, set a timer. Stop the timer as soon as you can feel yourself getting distracted or starting to daydream. The time that you record should be the starting length of your study sessions. So if your recorded time is 10 minutes, then you should study for 10-minute intervals and take breaks in between. Tip 3. How to properly take a break from studying. Don't use your phone during those breaks. Instead, have a snack ready and take a few bites during each break, or just close your eyes for a minute or two until you're ready to study again. After 1 week, extend your study session by 5 minutes, and so on. Also, it's really important that you walk away from your study space when you're taking a break for 2 reasons. First, I find that sitting at one place for too long can make studying extremely boring and cause me to lose focus as the day continues. And second, you don't want to rest and work at the same place because over time, your brain won't be able to work or rest properly at your study space. You want to automatically go into work mode when you enter your study area to maximize productivity. So, you need to clearly define which areas in your room are for what activity, so that your brain will be able to do each job efficiently. I find that customizing the length of my study sessions according to how long I can focus really helped me reduce the amount of time I spent daydreaming, because as soon as I get distracted, the timer goes off and it's time to take a break. Tip 4. Time management technique 2. Once you are able to focus for an extended amount of time, like 1 or 2 hours, then you should try this next time management tip. You see, the time management technique that I explained in my previous tip involves taking a lot of breaks, which is great if you can't focus. However, in reality, most of our work takes more than 10, 20, or even 30 minutes to complete. So, taking that many breaks can actually make your study more inefficient and disrupt your workflow. So, instead of limiting yourself to a certain amount of time, you want to focus on completing each task and taking short breaks in between before moving on to your next task. For example, writing an essay takes around 2 hours. You want to focus on completing that essay before taking a break. If your task is more time-consuming and you know you can't focus for that long, break that task up into many small steps and take breaks in between completing each step. My secret weapon: film yourself studying. More specifically, put on a time lapse while you're studying. I swear, this is my secret tip that I have been telling people since I was in high school that I never hear anyone talk about. Let me tell you why it's so amazing. First, you can't use your phone because it's being used to film, so that is one major distraction out of the way. Second, you will have to put your phone in silent mode because you don't want any notifications or calls to end your time lapse early. And third, at the end of your study session, you'll get this ultra-satisfying video of you studying, and trust me, you will keep watching that video over and over again and be so proud of yourself. If you're going to try any study tips from this video, do this one. Next to tip 5. How to create a distraction-free zone. In this tip, you should create a distraction-free study. Now, this might be a little bit controversial, but I don't really agree that a study space should look something like this. If you're someone who gets distracted easily, it can be very motivating to have study areas that look like these ones. And I've also tried to make my study space look like that. But I realize that although these study spaces are very pretty to look at, based on my personal experience, I find that it makes it 10 times harder to focus when there is so much going on around me, especially in front of me. I don't even need my phone to be distracted. I could literally be looking at a blank wall and still manage to daydream. I know you guys feel the same way too. So what I like to do is keep the decorations beside or behind me and make sure that my desk area and the wall in front of me are clean and plain to minimize distractions. This way, my study area is still motivating and pretty, but my focus area is clean and minimal. Tip 6. An easy trick to remind yourself to stop daydreaming. Another thing you can do is to draw a cross on a few memo pads and stick them around your room. When you get distracted and start looking around, you'll snap back to reality once you see those memo pads. Those memo pads are like a physical reminder for you to keep studying. It's the same concept as writing down your goals and putting them in front of you as a constant reminder to work towards those goals. I will link some stationery and organizers down in the description box below in case you need them. Tip 7. Don't just read your textbook, instead. When you're reading a story or an essay, you can try underlining all the verbs or nouns in the passage. This really helped me ensure that I'm actually processing what I'm reading, and not just glossing over all the words. If you're reading a textbook, you can try highlighting the keywords, underlining the important points, and putting brackets on the examples. Of course, you shouldn't only depend on highlighting when you're trying to study, but it's a great way to avoid daydreaming when you're trying to focus. I highly recommend that you check out my video on why you have bad grades even though you study hard here, because it tackles a lot of bad study habits that you might be doing that are hindering your academic potential. If you have made it this far, comment down below if you lose focus easily and why. I'd be sure to reply. Like this video, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell and set it to all so that you do not miss out on any future uploads. If you find these tips interesting and you can apply them to study more effectively, please like the video and press the subscribe button. See you in the next video.